Man, San Francisco is expensive. When you're a first-time homebuyer trying to make the numbers work, it's tempting to look at areas that seem like a good deal. And listen, I get it. We all want lower prices and more space. But here's the thing. There's usually a good reason behind there being a good deal on paper. Understanding those can save you real money from making a real big mistake. Today, I'm covering 5 neighborhoods in San Francisco that come with real trade-offs to living in them. These aren't bad neighborhoods, they're just neighborhoods where people tend to underestimate what they're signing up for. Let's break them down now. Number 1, the Tenderloin. Ironically, the Tenderloin is located right in the heart of downtown San Francisco. It's bordered by Union Square, the Financial District, Civic Center, and Nob Hill. You can walk to pretty much anywhere, and there's great public transportation here. Both BART and Muni run directly through this area, and prices are significantly cheaper than your surrounding neighborhoods. With that being said, the Tenderloin has some of the highest crime rates in all of San Francisco. Unfortunately, in this area, you will tend to see visible homelessness and open-air drug use. On top of that, you will also see property crime and car break-ins. It is also likely that you will see things on the streets here that will make you uncomfortable. My goal here is not to fearmonger, but this is the daily reality of what it's like in the Tenderloin. Many times, buyers think that they can handle it because they've seen the neighborhood during the day. Many aren't prepared for what it's like seeing the neighborhood at night. People might underestimate the Tenderloin because they think that location is everything. Like anywhere else in San Francisco, location does matter, but livability matters more. You can be at the epicenter of a city, but can feel totally isolated and remote if you don't feel comfortable in your own neighborhood. Many buyers just think that they'll Uber everywhere or they'll get used to it, but the reality is many never get used to it. You might either accept it and stay, or sell it at a loss because you realize that you can't live like this long term. Similarly to other neighborhoods in San Francisco, there are parts of the Tenderloin that are better than the others. Specifically, the blocks closer to Union Square or Nob Hill. The northern edge near the Hilton and the theaters feels safer because there's more foot traffic. Nevertheless, those blocks have their own challenges. If you're considering the Tenderloin, what I would recommend you do is that you walk that block at different times of the day. After that, be honest with yourself on whether or not you can accept that reality day to day. Number 2. Hunters Point. Hunters Point is located in the southeastern corner of San Francisco. It's one of the most affordable neighborhoods in the entire city. You could still find single-family homes here for under $1 million, which is unlike the rest of San Francisco. For first-time homebuyers looking at price alone, this is incredibly appealing. There are reasons why the prices here are lower, and you need to understand that before making your purchase. Historically, Hunters Point has had higher crime rates than most of San Francisco. Notably, property crime, violent crime, and gang activity. The neighborhood has been working on turning this around, and certain areas are improving. With that being said, the perception issue is real. And the truth is that perception affects reality and therefore resale value. Beyond crime, there's an environmental issue here that you should be aware of. The Hunters Point Naval Shipyard was a toxic waste site. There has been a cleanup, but there are real concerns here that still exist. Parts of the neighborhood still have contamination issues, and this can be a real deal breaker for some buyers. You're also getting fewer walkable amenities, less access to great schools, and a neighborhood that can feel disconnected from the rest of the city. Some buyers tend to think that because it's in San Francisco, it's fine. Hunters Point doesn't feel like the San Francisco many buy into. It can feel like a different city here, and in San Francisco, that affects resale. If you're an investor looking for upside or you have deep ties to the community, Hunters Point can work. But for first-time homebuyers who are prioritizing livability, walkability, and resale value, there are better options. Hey everyone, by the way, if you don't know me, my name is Alex Epstein and I'm a lifelong San Franciscan and realtor here in the Bay Area. If you're thinking about buying, selling, or even renting a property in or around San Francisco, I'd be more than happy to help you. Please feel free to reach out to me at the contact information below. Let's move on to neighborhood number 3, the Outer Sunset. The Outer Sunset, especially homes that are west of Sunset Boulevard, closer to Ocean Beach, look beautiful in photos. You have the beach, you have Golden Gate Park, and the houses here are charming. The prices here are appealing and are much lower than other neighborhoods that are closer to downtown. So many first-time homebuyers might think to themselves that they're getting a property in San Francisco near the beach for less money. Then they move in and they actually realize what they signed up for. The Outer Sunset is foggy, and I don't mean it's occasionally foggy. It can feel foggy here almost every single day. That means days that are cold and damp. Sometimes you will not see the sun for a few weeks at a time during the summer. While the rest of San Francisco can be 70 degrees and foggy, the Outer Sunset can feel like 55 degrees and foggy. The psychological impact of not seeing the sun for a prolonged period of times is real. The reality of living here is that you're living in a microclimate that's fundamentally different from the rest of the city. If you're someone that needs the sun and warmth to feel good, then the sunset will drain you. Beyond the weather, you're far from everything. Downtown San Francisco is easily half an hour away. Nightlife, restaurants, and cultural events are on the other side of the city. Many here have a car, and even then, you'll spend a lot of time commuting. On the bright side, the outer Sunset does have a strong community. There are families, longtime residents, and good schools here. If you're okay with the weather and distance and value quiet and space, it can work. Unfortunately, many first-time homebuyers who move here think that they're getting a good deal. What ends up happening is that they move in a few years because they didn't realize how much the fog and isolation would affect their daily quality of life. Number 4, SOMA. SOMA, or South of Market, is a huge area. Parts of it are great. The Embarcadero side, that's near the ballpark, closer to Mission Bay, that part has seen a lot of development and improvements over the years. However, there are parts of SOMA, like 6th or 7th Street, and the Civic Center that tell a different story. This is where first-time homebuyers can get into trouble. The 6th Street corridor and blocks surrounding Civic Center face the same issues as the Tenderloin: homelessness, open drug use, and safety concerns. These are not blocks where I can recommend walking home alone at night, at least not comfortably. For some people, they may not even be blocks where you feel comfortable walking during the day. The issue here is that the neighborhood is not cohesive. It's a collection of different pockets, and some pockets are rough. When you're looking at condos in this area, you need to understand exactly what block you're on. People underestimate SOMA because they see new development happening here and they think, oh my God, new construction, it must be revitalized. Parts of it are, but true revitalization takes decades. And in the meantime, you're living in an area that might not have walkable amenities, a sense of community, or safety that people are looking for. Some buyers like it because they work nearby and commuting is easy. That is true, but you won't just be commuting, you'll also be living there. Living in an area that feels transient and unsafe can feel draining. SOMA near Civic Center doesn't have that neighborhood feel that many are looking for. There are no corner cafes, you're not going to find tree-lined streets, you might not get a real sense of community. What's more apparent here is office buildings and a struggling street life. For most, that doesn't feel like a true place to build a life. If you work right there and are okay with a purely functional living space, then it might work for you in the short or midterm. But for most first-time homebuyers I speak with, this isn't the San Francisco they imagine living in. Number 5, buying across the bridge. This one isn't technically a San Francisco neighborhood, but it's a trap many first-time homebuyers fall into. If you get priced out of San Francisco, you might look east towards spaces like Oakland or Berkeley, or north towards Marin. You might think that you're only living 20 minutes away and can still enjoy the San Francisco lifestyle without paying SF prices. Once you move there, you'll realize that it's not at all like living in San Francisco. Let's start with the commute. The Bay Bridge during rush hour is brutal. What easily looks like a 15-minute drive can easily turn into a 1-hour commute. And this could be every single day, heck, even twice a day. The Golden Gate Bridge isn't as bad, but it is expensive. The toll is just under $10, and that adds up fast. If you're commuting 5 days a week, that's about $400 a month, or almost $5,000 annually. From a public transportation perspective, you have BART in the East Bay, which is a huge advantage. However, BART does experience delays and has its own safety issues. And if you're working really late, BART does eventually stop running. Beyond the commute, your social life might suffer. Your friends in San Francisco won't visit you often. When people choose where to eat for dinner or get drinks, they're not necessarily thinking about crossing a bridge. Inevitably, you will be the one who ends up having to travel the most. The bigger issue here is this: you're not getting the San Francisco lifestyle. You're actually getting the Berkeley lifestyle, or the Oakland lifestyle, or the Marin lifestyle. And those are fine lifestyles, nothing against them, but it's probably not what you expected or wanted when you lived or moved to San Francisco. Oakland has its own culture and food scene. Its vibe is completely different, and if you like Oakland, that's great. But if you moved to Oakland because you couldn't afford San Francisco, you might feel like you settled, and that feeling might not go away. People think that they're saving money when they live across the bridge. But when you factor in the bridge tolls, gas, car maintenance, and the extra time you spend commuting, the savings start to disappear quickly. Here's what I tell people who feel like they're priced out of San Francisco. Look at neighborhoods that other people tend to overlook. Ingleside, the Excelsior, Portola, Crocker Amazon. These aren't the sexiest neighborhoods, but they can be great, and you're in San Francisco. You're still building equity in the San Francisco market and have easy access throughout the city. Even more importantly, you won't be commuting and spending an hour or two in traffic every day. If you genuinely love Oakland or Marin, then you should go for it, but not as a backup plan. If you move to these places because you think they're close enough to San Francisco, you might regret it. Close enough is not the same as being here. So let's quickly recap here. We talked about 5 areas: the Tenderloin, Hunters Point, Outer Sunset, SOMA, and buying across the bridge. All come with serious trade-offs that many first-time homebuyers seriously underestimate. None of these areas are objectively bad. They are, however, areas that have trade-offs that are bigger than most first-time homebuyers expect. Understanding those trade-offs before you buy, that's the difference between a good investment and regret. If you're looking to buy a property in or around San Francisco and want some honest feedback and guidance, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to help you, and you can find me at the contact information below. Like this video if you found it helpful, and it would mean the world to me if you could subscribe to keep up to date with my real estate content. Lastly, share it with anyone that you think could benefit from this content, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye now.